Welcome to Invest. We'll talk about investing, finance, and professional development. It's the current time of 10:36 a.m. on Eastern Time on June 23rd on Friday. Hope you guys have a good week and also happy Friday. With respect to Ethereum, code $1,876, up about 0.19% so far. On the overall crypto market, as you can see on this Friday morning so far, it's kind of flat. Not really doing much at the moment, as we had a recent escalation reaching to the next level of resistance of 1950. But as you can see clearly on the chart, we have reached 1930.45, and as you got close to the 20 mark, we subsequently sold off because of the extensions on a technical perspective that translates into higher selling pressures compared to buying pressure. And if you look at the altcoin side of the house as well, it's also quite mixed bag. So it's just kind of pending on what's going on, like what's the next level of up or down, which we'll dive into in a bit. And also on the equity side, you are seeing some pressure across the spectrum. This is more of a correction that stem from the recent tech boom that we have seen, driven by AI stocks, but also with respect to the I guess the reflective effect post the Fed's meetings that happened, right? And subsequent to that, you will have reverse reactions that correlates with how the market is psychologically thinking about the foreshadow perspective. But ultimately, the foreshadow and the reverse catalyst that we've been experiencing so far has mostly been, as you know, more of a reaction from how people are psychologically thinking about this. But what's really going to be happening, ultimately is requires a reflection and a little bit further deep dive onto the technical to see what's the risk profile that we have in front of us. So let's dive into the technical without wasting more time. With respect to recording time, again, 10:38 a.m. on the Eastern time. I'll try to keep this relatively short and sweet. But on the technical front, on the Ethereum, you could see that we're $25 above the 1850 mark. So the questions that we have right now is, should we be buying in now or should we be selling in right now? I think the answer would have been, knowing the fact that, at the point when we were forming a golden cross on June 20th, which was technically only 3 days ago, we were crossing up, right? And as the ones that were accumulating for quite some time, from the 1650 to 1750 mark, this was a technical trade for get in before the cross, right? And at the same time, why was it a good level to get in at the time? Is because it was a relatively low in terms of RSI level. We were at somewhere around 40s. And as we translate into the golden cross and being oversold, fundamentally it drives a buying pressure because people are more inclined to be buying at a discount, and subsequently as the technical come through, the market dynamics shifts and then eventually shift to a golden cross that allows for buying pressure, which you could see that 1750 was the next level that we were trying to reach, to 1800, which, as you can understand, 1800 is not a real level. 1850 is the level that we need to get to. If you look at it in comparisons, right, the level that are the red bar form the previous resistance slash support level, which, as you can see that as we got the golden cross, the momentum drives, and the next thing you know, you see that we went up further to 1950. Well, which you can see also, we could not get above 1950. We were approximating around it at 1930. So now we are at the apex on the daily front. So what that means is that you need to kind of, start to think about trimming, right? And for those that were, technically attentive so far, you would have been selling somewhere around 1950 mark already, which was, a short, quick profit taking, from the 1650 to 1950 mark. And right now we are at a moderate level of resistance at 59 out of 70, so 60 out of 70. So not too terrible, but the likelihood of actually coming back down to, again, right, the 1750 mark is actually going to be more logical. And we could double check this on a weekly front. You can see that we're also on the 55.55 mark. We have crossed down, which translates into the red cross on the weekly front. Now we are looking to kind of just consolidate on a sideways fashion. We will eventually have to level up But again, this is going to take some time because of the fact this is a weekly translation, it's not a daily translation. So which means that 1750 is in near future as the daily chart progresses. On the monthly, you can see that we are forming a relatively bullish pattern at 50 out of 70. We are gliding, we are fusing together. So what this is saying is that we should ideally see some bull pressure coming on a months out perspective. So bull market should be beginning around the corner. On the Bitcoin side, we are also built above 30,000 now, 30,150, which is a technical level. 30,000 is actually not a level, which is, I know, is quite interesting, but 30,150 is a level which we're above it, which is a good sign. We are about to form a golden cross, so that means that Bitcoin will lead the effort on driving the crypto market to go up, which again holds true with respect to the monthly perspective. On a weekly, you could also see that it's on the opposite side of the spectrum. But what worries me is that it's 62 out of 70, right? And we are basically, you got canceled out, and as you hit the level of 31,000, and as you go, you basically shave down $900 right there, because the logical level is 30,150 again, right? Which is again holds true. And on the daily, you could see that we're also quite extended, right? So trim sum on the Bitcoin side is going to be a little bit more logical than buying in at this level right now, right? It's not the most logically and technically sound for you to be getting in at this moment. Okay. And then on the just take a look at the equity front. Let's look at SPY together. You can see that, oh man, weekly is quite extended, right? You can see that we've already kind of broke the balloon, popping and sliding down right now. And also with respect to the dailies, also, you can see that there's a death cross being formed. So the equity market needs to correct, as we have been discussing so far, which is happening right now. So not a surprise. And I think we ideally should be landing somewhere around 425 as a next level of support, which is something that we will see, and that means we will have technically a bit of more of a correction happening going forward as we form this death cross on a daily perspective. The weekly is also doing the same thing, but as we get over the hump, the monthly again, it is relatively rosy, and I do like the bullish pattern that's foreshadowing right now, so it's good. Okay. So appreciate you for joining me today. Let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to subscribe to our Patreon. It will give you the most up-to-date updates with respect to not just like Ethereum, but not just the overall equity market, but specific stocks onto what's the right move for you to proceed with. So appreciate you. Have a good day, and I'll check you on the next one. Take care. Bye.